This video on building resilience to climate change. My name is Tom Chase, and I'm a senior project manager with New Ecology. This video is being recorded as part of the Stanford Resilience Assessment Pilot Project, funded by the Connecticut Institute for Resilience and Climate Adaptation, and the grant to the City of Stanford and the Stanford 2030 District. This is the 5th out of 5 videos, and the topic I'll be covering in this video is financing resilience. I'd like to give a big thanks to our partners, the City of Stanford and the Stanford 2030 District, for helping to make this work possible. New Ecology is a community-based sustainable development organization with the goal of bringing the benefits of sustainable development to underserved populations. More and more in our work, we've recognized that in addition to mitigating climate change, we need to prepare to adapt for the worst impacts of climate change as they come. Building resilience financing is one of the toughest nuts to crack in resilience planning because there aren't often existing funding or financing streams tied to reducing a building's risk to climate change impacts. As we saw in previous videos, one of the best ways to think about financing resilience is to think about doing it as part of routine operations and maintenance and part of existing planned rehabilitations. So as a result of spending money in a building anyways through routine operations, money can be spent in such a way that building resilience is also improved. One of the best ways to do that is to identify co-benefits, where resilience benefits bring other benefits to a property as well. A co-benefit might be something like insulating or air sealing a building to reduce energy use and operating costs. Which could also bring resilience benefits in terms of making a building more habitable during extreme heat or cold events if there's a power outage. Other planned expenditures might not bring resilience co-benefits, such as generators. Generators provide resilience benefits in terms of backing up critical systems or providing for life safety in a power outage, but they don't have other routine operating expense savings. Another measure with possible co-benefits is solar PV and battery storage, where solar PV can reduce energy use and operating expenses throughout the year. Adding a backup battery can mean that a site has some backup power during an extreme event in a power outage. Here's an example of a building we assessed in Washington, D.C. It's a scattered site, 200-unit development, with a planned rehabilitation coming up. This is the ideal time to look at planning for resilience at this site because the new owners are looking to redevelop and renovate the site with existing planned financing. They're able to incorporate resilience measures that they might otherwise not be able to pay for during the regular operating of the site. Some of the measures we recommended and their costs are on the right. Things like elevating existing electrical equipment, remediating mold, repairing and replacing sump pumps, adding backwater valves to all of the buildings in the site, doing building floodproofing, adding white roofs or cool roofs to reduce heating and to reduce cooling needs, surface stormwater management to reduce the impacts of flooding across the surface of the sites, adding high-efficiency ventilation, and creating an emergency management manual for the operators at the site. For anyone looking to dive deeper into financing climate resilience, I recommend that they look to the UMass Boston Sustainable Solutions Lab and the work done through grants from the Barr Foundation and the Boston Green Ribbon Commission. In particular, the report Financing Climate Resilience. It's a really good overview of the different mechanisms that individual building owners, investors, cities, states, policymakers can look at when looking to finance resilience. The big takeaways on financing climate resilience are that capital planning and investment timing are key. We know from recent studies that $1 spent on resilience results in an avoided $7 to $8 of future impact when a disaster strikes. But it's hard to monetize that. So if a property or a site or a city is looking to spend money anyways for routine capital expenses, If those capital expenses can be spent in such a way that resilience is also improved, then the city will essentially get resilience for free. One of the reasons that financing climate resilience is so difficult is that while spending money today on resilience avoids future losses, it's not a savings to an existing cash flow, so it's hard to track on a balance sheet. However, performing benefit cost analysis for resilience improvements can demonstrate the business case for spending money now to avoid spending much more money after the fact. And it's important whenever we're thinking about financing and funding resilience to relate the payments to the benefits for who benefits at what sites, what locations, and we have to account for who's able to pay. Resilience expenses will not impact everyone the same, and climate change impacts won't either. So we have to look at financing and funding resilience with an eye towards equity. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Tom Chase. I'm a Senior Project Manager with New Ecology. And please feel free to reach out with any questions or comments to chase@newecology.org. Thanks again to the Connecticut Institute for Resilience and Climate Adaptation for funding this work, and to our partners, the City of Stamford and the Stamford 2030 District.